Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back with another live stream for you guys. First and foremost, for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, we'd love to have you here. Definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below if you're looking to network with a bunch of like-minded people. First and foremost, wow, today has gone by really fast. I was planning on doing this stream like right after lunch. I mentioned it in the Discord chat that I was planning on going live for a little bit this afternoon. Next thing I know, it was like less than an hour until market close. We're now at about half an hour until market close. I wanted to hop on here for something that has just really been kind of irking me with Robinhood, and that is just their whole, the way they set up Robinhood options, where you have to have the instant account, specifically because of how their instant account works. It's technically still a cash account. Yes, I've gotten not into it with certain people, but just people are like, you're wrong, it's not a margin account, yada yada yada. You're right, it's not a margin account, but how it functions is a margin account, meaning you only get 3-day trades in a sliding 5-day period, unless if you have 25,000 or more in your account, of course, due to the PDT rule, which usually refers to margin accounts, which is why I said that when I came out that video now, 2 months ago, somewhere in there, about a month or two ago. But point being, I am going to use all of my money, like all of my funds, into the Tastyworks platform down here. I've used Tastyworks in the past. How's it going, Josh? Good afternoon. I don't know if you were in here the other day. I called you, shouted you out for that SPY call. I'm hoping that you locked in those profits. Those were probably some good profits for sure. But point being is that I don't want to have to, and for my case, I couldn't day trade whatsoever with Robinhood because I did violate the quote-unquote PDT one time, and I went ahead and did it again today, locking up my last bit. I knew it was going to be my last any trade period with Robinhood, which is why I did it. It was with XOP. I made a quick 23% early on in the late morning. Shorted it from, like, not shorted it, but I put puts on it when it was around 41.37. There were, I believe, $41 puts or $41.50 puts, and then I sold them right around 41.07 for about 23% profit, somewhere in there. It's like plus $100 essentially, and they notified me that I was pretty much locked for 90 days regardless, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to mess with Robinhood anymore. I'd rather just pay the $1 per contract commissions for Tastyworks. It's 50 cents when you go in and 50 cents when you close the position, and that's per contract. So say that this XOP was 5 contracts, that would have been $5 in the end. Still, I would rather be able to lock that 100, which would have been $95 of profit still after the $5 commission, than have to sit around and worry and be like, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen overnight, yada yada yada. When I'm up, I want to lock the profits, period, and doing it this way going forward, I'll be able to take larger positions, which means larger profit. Obviously, it can be larger loss as well, but I only plan on holding these for maybe minutes or hours at a time. It'll allow me to do so much more with my day, do a live stream specifically to answer your all's questions, or dive into any different, I know that probably the last, well, I know I haven't been doing this regularly lately with the move and whatnot, but I knew when I started doing options and whatnot, I kind of got away from doing a bunch of technical analysis for you guys, and that's what I'm really here for. So it'll allow me to do a lot more of that. It's just going to allow me to free up so much more of my day and not have to stress so much, because that's really, at the end of the day, the root of like my issues I've been having lately. Is just stress and anxiety and yada yada yada. So by being able to just do these trades super fast, you still cannot violate PDT. Obviously PDT goes for every broker, but with Tastyworks they allow you to use a strictly a cash account, meaning as long as you have settled funds, you can trade with those funds. You can do as many day trades as you want, as long as you have settled funds, period, end of story. And that's pretty much what the PDT rule is in essence. It's just you cannot trade with unsettled funds, and Tastyworks even gives you 4 strikes before you're actually banned for a whole year. That's the only catch, is you're banned for a whole year versus 90 days on most platforms, but they still give you 4 strikes. I don't plan on using any strikes, obviously, and Tastyworks does make it a little difficult to track it. You pretty much have to track it yourself for now. I believe they're working on that. I believe when I looked in their forums, it sounds like they're looking at doing some way where you can pretty much track your actual quote-unquote on-hand buying power, but until then, it's pretty simple. Just write down your trades and just keep track of it. Don't be lazy, essentially. Like I said, use a Google spreadsheet and keep track of your trades anyways for profit and loss and taxes and everything like that. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest because it's like people think Robinhood free commissions, oh my god, yay, yada yada yada. And yeah, when it comes to like flipping stocks, that $4.95, $5 commission per trade as you go in and buy this $10. Yeah, $10 can be a lot whenever you're trying to flip penny stocks with a $100, $50, $100, even $500 account, because you're literally just flipping stocks. 10% on $100 is what? $5 or $10. I don't know if I said 5% or 10%. Either way, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, the free commission works out great if you're doing like swing trading, day trading with like penny stocks and all that good stuff. Not even just penny stocks. If you're just trading stocks in general, then yes, Robinhood is a very good platform. But for options traders, I highly suggest you go to like something like TD Ameritrade. I heard they're offering 90 days of free commissions. That's a long time for zero commissions. I heard who is it? E-Trade's doing the same thing. I think all of them are pretty much doing the same thing right now. And then obviously Tastyworks, it's 50 cents as you go, pretty much $1 per contract, so to speak. And I don't believe they have any promos going on right now where it's totally free. But I mean, even $1. I like Tastyworks platform because it is geared towards options traders. But yeah, I feel like I said a lot really quickly, so I'm just gonna slow down for a minute. It's just been a crazy day because I knew I was going to get locked as soon as I did that. And I mean, I made sure that I closed all my positions at least, because once you're locked, you're locked. You cannot make a single trade for 90 days, period. So I went ahead and closed every single position I had within Robinhood. And now on Wednesday, when all my funds are settled, I'm going to transfer the rest over to Tastyworks, and then that'll be that with Robinhood. So far, I had about $350 like settled funds to transfer, so I went ahead and did that. Those will be available in Tastyworks, I believe tomorrow, because I did it before 2 p.m. Central Time. They do same day transfer as long as you do it before 2 p.m. Central Time. It's currently about 2:30, so I did that like earlier this morning, so I should have that to work with tomorrow if I wish. Again, I'm not going to like push anything. If there's something out there that looks like a good quick day trade, then by all means I'll go ahead and do it. Like XOP, depending on how oil moves overnight, I might place a call on it because it might jump on back up to around 42.50. But again, if it's not there, then it's not there. SPY's up near 275. 275 has been a pretty strong resistance. I'm going to watch the futures a little bit. Nothing too crazy, nothing to stress about. Because I'm not really planning on trading until what sounds like Friday. It's just, the funds are there, I'll use them if something's just screaming a good deal. But, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to just doing this a lot more going forward. Being able to just answer any questions you guys have, any stocks specifically, instead of having to worry about just everything with my stocks 24/7. Because that's to the point I was since I got labeled a pattern day trader. Through Robinhood, I could not day trade at all, period. So pretty much I was having to set myself up as a swing trader, which you guys know I'm not very good at swing trading. So it was just very stressful for me. It's not that I wasn't good at it, it's just it's not my style. I look more for just the quick, like when this went under $40, I wanted to be able to place calls on it so bad because I knew it'd probably pump up. I didn't think this high in all honesty, but I thought it would at least dead cat bounce to about 41.09. If I would have placed $41 calls when it was around 40.95, which I was looking at it really close, that would have made me again a quick like 15 to 30% profit on calls, depending on how close to expiration and whatnot I would have placed them at. And that's just how I like to play it. And I will never complain about 20 to 30% profit, because 20-30% profit 10 days a week, because obviously you're gonna have to wait the day you trade plus a business day for those funds to settle. I mean, if you're using $1,000, 20%, that's $200 on average 3 days a week, $600 a week, and then obviously it just starts compounding over time. I will never complain about being able to lock 20% in a day. I wouldn't even complain about 20% in a week, but being able to do 20% profit and just a quick little pump. And actually this pump all the way here, this jumped the $41 June 8th, if I'm remembering right. The 8th is this Friday, right? Yeah. These calls, they went up about 28%, if I recall, in this little pump right here. 38 minutes, they went up over 20-25%, close to 30%. So I mean, it's just my style at the end of the day. I look forward to being able to not have to look at my computer all day other than if I want to answer your guys' questions, do technical analysis for you guys. I like being able to just have the freedom. That's why I started doing this at the end of the day, was to have financial freedom. To me, it was not financial freedom when I'm sitting here stressing out all day, all evening, all morning. Like, I wake up, turn on the TV and look at stocks. Like, yeah, I love stocks, I love the stock market, but I don't love it to the degree that I want it to, like, stress me out or anything like that. It's just, again, it's some people, swing trading's awesome. My trading style, it's not my trading style. I like the quick flip, make the money and go. There's been times where I've literally missed out on about $100 of profit just because I wanted the quick trade. I didn't want to have to ride it through the roller coaster up and down, up and down. I want to make my money on the quick pump and then go. Like SPY this morning. SPY jumped up really quickly this morning. Started pulling back. I said, I'm out. I wasn't going to worry about catching it on another rise or anything like that, and it never even retested the highs of the day. So it's looking like it's a good thing that I did cut it when I did. But I still made some quick money. It was just one call, nothing big, and made the money on the rise and then moved on. That's just my trading style at the end of the day. I do not like holding long term. It's just not my game, especially in this market. This market is too volatile for me to want to hold to begin with. A lot of people like to, but I don't. So I look forward to trading strictly on Tastyworks going forward, and we'll see how everything works out in the end. But just to pull up the calculator for a quick example, because I'll be trading with, what about, I don't even remember how much now. I want to say just like 1,500 is what I'm going to end up putting in there, because I have some expenses and whatnot. I pretty much don't have a job right now until my birthday, the 24th, when I start doing Lyft, because I'm not 21. So I have some stuff to pay still and all that, like storage fees, since we're still living at her mother's for now until we get into our place. We just got miscellaneous stuff that we have to pay and get our licensing and all that still. But point being, trading with about $1,500. Let's say I'm only going to trade 3 weeks out of June. Let's say I make what I've been making on average per options trade, 20%, $300 times, say my first week I get 3 days in. That's $900 there the first week alone, and then obviously you can see how it can start compounding. Is that saying that I'm going to make 20% on every single trade? No. I'm sure that I'm still going to have a couple trades here and there where something just goes totally opposite of what I was planning on happening. But as long as you do your technical analysis, you read up on whatever you're investing in, put in calls and puts on, you can make on average 20% easy. Some say 30 to 40%, but I like to do it on low, and I've been noticing my range is around 20 to 25, so I just say 20% to keep it low. But let me see, Luis commented on here. Let's see what you said. That's why I like to trade the futures and at 9:30. Exactly. Yeah. And in the future, I probably will trade futures too, because I love how the futures market moves compared to the actual markets. Like, they tend to be really quick up, quick down, just all over the place. I kind of like it. It's really volatile, but definitely a lot of money to be made. But it's definitely a pay-to-play type of game. But I mean, even with SPY though, like being able I just feel like it's going to be so much, I wouldn't say easier to make money, but it's going to be a lot less stressful because I'm not going to be having to hold these options overnight anymore. Will there be cases where I'm like, okay, I'm probably going to hold this a day or two? Sure, but only if I want to. Like, wow, SPY's pumping up here. Well, last few minutes here. But, I'm just checking this out really quickly. But, like, for example, I would have probably got in. I wouldn't have got in right here because I like to have some sort of confirmation. But when I would have seen it dip again twice above this low, obviously this isn't the low of the day, but above this low in general, when I'd seen it right here, I would have probably got in, put a call right here, wrote it up to just right here, maybe right here if I was feeling a little riskier. That would have been some good quick profit on some June 8th calls, or whatever calls, June 15th, if I wanted to, again, think a little bit about, well, what if I have to hold this for whatever reason for a day or two? That's when I'd place like 2-week calls or something. It wouldn't be quite 2 weeks, today's the 4th, but you get what I'm saying. I I just know that day trading is my style, and the fact that Robinhood had restricted me essentially from doing so over their stupid rule when it comes to their instant account. They treat their instant account like it is a margin account, which it is not. It should not be. They should do it pretty much like every other platform does, where as long as you have the cash on hand, like a cash account, you can trade. That is why in my video where I said what you need to know before trading options on Robinhood, I essentially called the Robinhood instant account margin account, because it literally goes by margin rules. You only get 3-day trades in a sliding 5-day period, unless if you have $25,000 in your account. And I think so many people get tripped up on that, thinking that, well, it's just an instant account, it's not Robinhood Gold where I have the extra buying power, I have no margin. And then they end up getting that notice that, hey, if you do this day trade, you're going to not be able to day trade for 90 days. And then it kind of shocks them. So with that being said, I think paying $1 per trade essentially is worth it when it comes to Tastyworks, because it's 50 cents as you go in, 50 cents as you close per contract, not per trade necessarily. Per contract, like I said, say you wanted to put 5 calls on SPY. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying, say you wanted to put 5 calls on SPY. when you go to close that 5 call position, that'd be $5 in commissions paid. So it's per contract, not per trade. I know I think I said that on accident, but it is per contract. But still, $5 on a 5 contract is nothing, because on average you want to be making at least probably $10 to $20, depending on how much it costs and everything, obviously, but at least on average roughly $10 to $20 per contract. So $1, that's absolutely nothing, guys. Especially when it comes to being able to lock the profits versus Robinhood, where yes, it's free, but you're only allowed 3-day trades, and then after that you're pretty much, I don't like having to wait. I like being able to lock my profits when I want to lock my profits. That's just me personally. And from what I heard, there's a pretty big petition going around about putting an end to PDT, but I'll believe it when I see it. It's just something I heard. I haven't seen it, I haven't looked it up or anything, but I looked up one, but it only had like a couple thousand signatures. There's a whole bunch out there. Supposedly there's a really big one, but that's one of those things, I'll just believe it when I see it, because I think it's one of those things that the government wants. How's everybody doing? We got 4 of you tuning in. Hopefully everybody's having a good day, a good Monday, a good start to the week. I mean, I did make some money this morning. Like I said, I closed the XOP. I placed puts on it really quickly this late morning, and I made a quick about $100 of profit for about 23%. Again, 20-25% is roughly what I do on average. I have those occasional ones where I look 1 second, next second I look, boom, I'm up 100%. I like to call those my unicorns, because they don't happen but about once a week. But yeah, I mean, a quick 23%, if I remember right. I actually bought it at a kind of bad time. I bought it as it was coming up here. I was like, surely it's going to get rejected. That's why I put this alert up here, that way it'd be notified in case if it started going wrong, because I was a little worried that it was forming. Let me see where we're at. I was worried for a second that this was going to start curving back up. That's why I set the alert, but then it kept going down. Next thing I knew, I looked, and I seen it right around here when it was around 41.27. I watched it, and then all of a sudden we had a big rush of volume come in. Boom, it dropped. When it dropped, I sold it, made my money, and moved on. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Luis. Thanks for the kind words. I'm trying, man. I mean, it's definitely... I tell people all the time, they think that it's easy to make money, like, not necessarily within the stock market, but just doing this, because it sounds easy when you watch the videos and everything. But, I mean, everybody is different at the end of the day. Like, I've tried so many forms of trading. I've probably tried, when you look at total, like, strategies, probably 10 different strategies by now. I've used 2 or 3 different brokers. I mean, it's just, you're constantly tuning, finding it's just like I don't even know how to explain it, essentially, like, just trial and error at the end of the day. But, yeah, I mean, for the most part, what I'd trade is SPY and XOP. I would stick with just SPY, but I like to do XOP, drip too, and gush occasionally. Why? Because I just know, I'm not gonna say I know a lot, but like, I've just followed oil since I was like I said, since I was like 15 years old. So I tend to know how oil moves, even outside of news. Just it tends to go down a few days in a row, then it goes up a couple days in a row. And obviously we have this OPEC meeting on the 22nd. By the way, that's the date, not the 8th. For some reason I thought it was the 8th. It's the 22nd. So keep that marked on your calendars if you're into oil stocks whatsoever. But about if they're going to decide to pump out some more oil or not. If they decide to do so, then obviously that's going to drive the price of oil down. If not, then it'll go back up probably. I'm betting that they don't. I think they're actually manipulating it a little bit, to be honest, this last week or so, because it's came down so much. I honestly see oil coming down to about $62 before all said and done, before that meeting. I think if it stays under $65 going into that meeting, they will not decide to pump out anymore. But they've surprised us before, so who knows? We saw them drive it all the way down to $25, so it's up to them at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, XOP and SPY, those are the only things I play. Like I said, I made about $150 on Apple on Friday. But for the most part, yeah, it's just SPY and XOP personally. Just because I trade those two only doesn't mean, wow, had a big sell-off here. Big pullback at least. Just because I trade, if this doesn't close above 275, I'm thinking tomorrow's going to be a red day, to be honest. But that's just me. I'm not saying that it's going to be. It's just what I think about tomorrow personally. This makes me think that there's some kind of news getting ready to come out, to be honest. But or it could just be somebody trying to buy the dip, so to speak. We'll see where it closes. But that was a really big one. But yeah, just because these are the only two that I mostly trade anymore doesn't mean that you should do what I do. Like I always say, I do not want anyone to try to like mimic my trades or anything whatsoever. You have to find what works for you. If you're someone that's super busy and can't look at the computer all day, then you should probably not do anything that I do, to be honest, because like I said, I try to catch something. Like I said, I was going to try to catch this down here, for example, write it up. You have to be able to sit here for about, what, half an hour. How many of you can sit here for half an hour in the middle of the day to check on your stocks? Most of you cannot. I was lucky enough where I could in my previous job, and right now, obviously I can do this pretty much all day. That is why I'm moving all my funds to Tastyworks. Like I said, it's just all about finding what works for you and your lifestyle. If you're looking for something that's more swing trades, then to be honest, I'm probably not the best person for you to be watching, because swing trading just is not my style. I'm not going to sit here and try to act like it is. I've tried it. It's just not my style. I'm too almost antsy, so to speak, when it comes to that. Like, I like making the quick money and moving on and keeping it flowing from one thing to the next. I don't want to have my money sit in something too long, because for one, I don't trust the stock market, and for two, it's just super volatile right now. On top of the whole why I don't trust the stock market, it's just too volatile to want to hold anything overnight or over a weekend, especially right now, just because so much can happen. So, but at the end of the day, it's just all about finding your specific niche, trading style, and how much money you have on hand, obviously. And let me see. There was one I wanted to talk about. I thought there was a stock. Forget which one. Wow, SQ's up to 61. Shoot, I forget which stock I was going to want to talk about. Maybe it's not even in my watch list. Saw this. One thing is that Snapchat has like really started to get its legs back underneath of it the last couple of days. I heard that there was a major short seller, I forget his name, but he was actually switching his position to long on Snapchat, saying that it was a great buying opportunity. I don't know if that's the reason that this has gone up so much of late. I don't think there's really been any news. Not really. There's just not really any big news. So I don't understand why this has shot up so much. So this might be a good shorting opportunity. But I've got burned on Snap. Like I said, I don't like to play the companies too much personally. I've just gotten burned one too many times to like to play companies. If I do, it's companies like Apple, pretty predictable. Alibaba, I haven't played Alibaba, but it's pretty predictable as well. What's another one that I play? I've played AMD once or twice. It's a little too high for me to like to play. I thought there was another one. Nike, that's one that I've done in the past. Facebook is a little too volatile for my liking to play. But like I said, for the most part, all I play anymore, SPY, which is now back up almost to 275, and XOP. And why did I say XOP and Gush? You can see these two are pretty much the same. Just one tends to be a little cheaper than the other when it comes to options from time to time, and Drip as well. Why? Because they're the inverse of the two. But so sometimes I'll use Drip to kind of hedge myself occasionally, not too often. I did that once on Thursday, Friday. And then like I said, SPY. And why do I say XOP, Gush, and Drip? Because I know oil quite a bit. So that's just me though. I was actually wrong on oil this last week, because I actually expected it to bounce, and it did not bounce at all. It continued to just slide all week. But I made the money back this morning on my XOP puts. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this closes. I think they're gonna try to push it on up past 275 going into close. But I mean, if we don't have any negative news come out, watch out. SPY, if we don't have any negative news this week, SPY may test 280 in all honesty. I didn't think, if you were to ask me this time last week, well, not Monday because we were off last Monday, weren't we? But if you were to ask me last Tuesday where I thought SPY was going to go, it probably would not have been 280. But as long as we don't have any like negative news, I'm sure we'll have a tariff hiccup here or there this week that's going to keep it from going too crazy. But I mean, if we were to go this whole week without negative news, you could definitely see SPY test 280 this week. I mean, it's only $5 away. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I learned, is just stick with what you know. Why stick with everything? There's yes, I have a lot of companies in here. I actually need to go through this again and delete probably 95% of them. But for the most part, just stick with what you know, like DO, Rig, CPB, I think maybe not. But I have some oil companies in here that are not as expensive for those of you that are into the lower, I wouldn't say lower cap because they're still $12 to $20, but just maybe ones that are cheaper if you're not into options and want to swing trade possibly. I keep these in here if you guys want to take a look at them, how they go into XOP, how they look in reference to it. You can see Rig moves pretty close. You can see DO moves not quite as close, but that one's still a good play from time to time. It's just finding your market and what you know. I mean, if you know a whole lot about technology and all the Apples and FANG stocks, so to speak, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, right? Something like that. If you're into those kind of things, then stick with them. But I mean, that's just not my thing, even though you would think someone my age would know a whole lot about it. It's just not my thing. Oil's my thing, and then SPY. Just the ETFs for the most part are my thing. There'll be some times that I'll play XLE because look at that, and then look at that, pretty close, right? And that's just the energy sector. So again, it's just narrowing down instead of trying to look at what's going on. Oh, MU might look like a good buying opportunity right now. Because I was looking at that, to be honest. I had one call on that, and that went horrible. Why? It's not something that I know. I should have known better than even trying to play it, but I tried, got burned a little, lost about $50, $60 on it, chalk the loss, move on. But, yeah, USO too, I meant to add that today, but I forgot. United States Oil. I'm going to go ahead and add that right now. Just add that to my active, not the ETF. Maybe it's a dig too. I don't know. I haven't heard of dig before. What is this? ProShares Ultra Oil. Oh, this is an ETF. You know, this one has no volume though. I think this one I'll pass on just because I don't like the volume. But yeah, that's another one. Doug as well. Those are probably inverse, aren't they? Yeah, inverse ETFs. Dig and Doug are. So those are more if you're into oil. Dig and Doug. I personally prefer like Gush and Drip, just because there's more volume within them. But that's just me. I mean, like I said, you can always. There's so much out there at the end of the day. I cannot stress that enough. It's just, again, all about narrowing down your niche, finding, man, my neck is really stiff today, finding out what works for you, and that's why I'm really almost thrilled, to be honest, going forward, moving all my money to Tastyworks now that I'm not, because I originally would have stayed in Tastyworks, but I was almost worried that, because I heard $10 commissions through them, and then it said 50-cent contracts. When I heard that, I was like, so I'm going to be charged. Like, I just didn't know, essentially. I was ignorant going in. I didn't do my homework, and I thought, essentially, I was going to start being charged $10 on top of the 50 cent per contract. So I pulled my money out, went into Robinhood, since it was totally free. But now that I know, not everything, now that I know exactly how the structure works for commissions, I know that it's a no-brainer. You should definitely be on something like TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Tastyworks, whatever big-time, Charles Schwab is another one. Any big-time legit broker over Robinhood for options, at least. Like I said, for like day trading actual stocks or swing trading, yes. Robinhood is pretty good because of the zero commissions and whatnot. But for options, no. I probably will never, ever, ever suggest anyone use Robinhood options until they find a better way about structuring it. Wow, I'm pretty shocked to see this sliding like this going into the bell. We got about 2.5, 3 minutes left. Gush and Drip. Yeah, I love Gush and Drip. Gush was actually one of the first ones that I played on here whenever I started doing live streams. That was when I was actually day trading and swing trading stocks. I made like 3%, which for a quick day trade is not that bad. But yeah, I love doing options so much more than day trading and swing trading. And I'm still technically going to be day trading. That's why I'm moving all my funds to Tastyworks is to day trade. But it's options instead of actually quote-unquote day trading stocks. Trading options instead. Done a lot of talking so far. Funny names. Dig Dug. Yeah, that was an old school game, wasn't it? Dig Dug? Wasn't that a video game? I thought I remembered a game called Dig Dug. That was my shit back in the day. Let's see what we're doing still. Still got 3 of you tuning in. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Again, sorry about the reflection. I don't really know what to... Hopefully the reflection off my glasses aren't too bad. The only reason I'm wearing them is because supposedly it'll help me a little bit with computer vision or whatever. Because of the whole blue light shit or whatever. So pretty much anytime I watch TV or I'm on my computer, I put these glasses on. I don't do it when I'm on my phone. I mean, it's not that huge of a deal, but... Man, they're gonna have this thing closed right around 275. I don't know. I don't know what to think about tomorrow in all honesty. I thought today would be a green day in all honesty. That's why I went ahead and placed short-term calls on SPY and made some quick money off of it. But as for tomorrow, we've got about a minute left. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen tomorrow. Anyone that thinks they do is blowing smoke up your ass. Keep green or black with oil. Yeah, you too, man. Yeah, I'll probably be on again tomorrow. Tomorrow probably won't be too much just because, like I said, I don't really have any funds to mess around with as I'm transferring them all to Tastyworks. But, like I said, if I see something that's, like, crazy good deal, I'll go ahead and use that $350. Put it to work. Make some quick money off of it. Got 5 seconds. What's it gonna do? So we closed pretty much right at 274.89, which is up about 0.5% on the day, up $1.29. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this week goes. Like I said, I mean, if we don't experience any kind of negative news, SPY could test 280, 278 at the minimum on the low end. But something's just telling me that that's not going to happen. How many weeks in a row have we gone without negative news? So, we'll see though. I mean, June is typically a pretty good month for the stock market. So, I mean, like I said, anything can happen. I'd love to see it go back into a bull market. It's so much easier to make money in a bull market than a sideways market. But we'll see what happens. But, yeah, if we don't have any more questions, then I'll go ahead and just start wrapping this stream up. Like I said, if you're new to the channel and you're into networking with a bunch of like-minded people, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here. And we have a Discord chat as well with about 25 members in there. Everything with me is totally free. So again, if you're just into networking with a bunch of like-minded people, check that out. It's like the first or second link, if I remember right, in the description box. But yeah, we talk about trading options, day trading, penny stocks from time to time, futures. We talk about all sorts of trading here. So but if we don't have any questions or anything, then I guess I'll go ahead and start wrapping this up. Like I said, today I didn't do too much. Like I said, I'm starting to transfer all my money into Tastyworks. I've spent pretty much the last half hour talking about why. So if you didn't see that, just rewind and you'll see why. But I did make about 100 and what, 75. I made about $140, $150 today. Made about 95 to 100 on XOP puts, and then made about $60, $60 or $70 if I remember right, on a SPY call that I placed on Friday, a June 8th call that I placed on Friday. Went ahead and locked that up this morning on the rise up. But yeah, other than that, I guess I'll go ahead and start wrapping this up. Thank you guys again for all of the support. Cannot thank you guys enough. And if you did like the live stream, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys probably, I'm sure, in Discord throughout the evening. If not, tomorrow morning for sure. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys possibly tomorrow afternoon. I'll definitely let you guys know. If you're in Discord, you'll be the first ones to know. Take it easy, guys.